Hey guys, Skynerd here from The Roost, bringing today another episode of Inside the Mind of a Smasher. And today, I've been able to get Spencer Garner onto my show, and I've been really excited about this one because it's been a long time coming, just been something I've been really excited about. With that being said, all of his social media is down below, and actually, I know that the Discord link that I've been putting out has been kind of bad, so there will be a permanent Discord that will be always going, so anyone can join that one. With that being said, we're going to jump into the question for today, and that is, what character would you guys like to see next be featured in the show? And, as always, please leave some feedback down below, whether you liked the show, whether you didn't, what you thought was good, what you thought was bad, so that way I can constantly improve. And, as always guys, please don't forget to that subscribe button. And, as always, I will see you guys in future installments. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, it's Skynerd here from The Roost, bringing you today another episode of Inside the Mind of a Smasher. And today I have with me
Spencer Garner.
Hey Spencer, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing alright. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day for this interview.
Yeah, no problem.
So Spencer, what's your gamer tag?
My gamer tag is actually BestNess. Like the character Ness. It's a very, very cocky name, but kind of helps me out, helps me play better.
Gotcha, so it gives you like a little bit of a mindset.
Exactly, yeah.
How'd you come up with BestNess?
It was kind of a weird thing. I was thinking of someone that rhymed with Ness, and I know it doesn't really rhyme, but it kind of worked out. And so I just kind of picked it for my first small tournament I went to, and it just kind of stuck. And once you start with a name, you kind of have to keep it, so...
That's true. So I would assume because of the name BestNess, you main Ness.
Yes, I main Ness.
Okay. and what made you want to pick up Ness?
Well, I started with Brawl, kind of going to tournaments and stuff. And towards the very end of Brawl, I got really into Ness. And so when this game came out, I just started with him, and he was a lot better in this game. So I really enjoyed him. I really enjoyed his playstyle. I like his spacing, I like his projectiles and his kill options and his combos and stuff. I just think he really fits with my playstyle.
Cool.
So I really enjoy Ness, yeah.
How would you define your playstyle?
I think my playstyle is very passive-aggressive, where I just kind of wait for an opportunity, and then once I have that opportunity, it's very, very aggressive. And then I kind of go away until I have another opportunity, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. So as you were saying, you're in and out of the situation. So you're analyzing,
I'm very
and then
in and out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what scene are you in?
So I'm in Utah. I'm more like the Salt Lake region is the main tournament I go to, and I go to most every tournament. I think there's 2 a week that I go to, so it's really nice to have 2 weeklies.
Damn.
And our scene's pretty big. We have about 30, 40 people regularly coming. And I think we're growing. Our monthly, last month was all the way up to 90 people, so that was really cool.
That's a lot of people. So what's your ranking in your scene then?
So for Utah, I'm ranked number 1 PR of Utah. I've gone down to Southern Utah. I won that tournament. I've even gone up to Utah State a couple times and at their tournaments and won those tournaments. So I'm number 1 PR in Utah.
No, wow, in the whole state of Utah?
In the whole state of Utah, that's right, yeah.
That's...
I've been number 1 for about 6 months now. It's been a fun ride.
No one's dethroned you, huh?
Yeah, nobody's dethroned me yet. There was a couple close calls, but nobody's dethroned me for too long.
That's very impressive. I'm definitely rooting for you to keep that up.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. So, what are your origins of Smash? How did you get involved with it?
Well, I mean, obviously growing up, everyone plays Smash Brothers. I mean, everyone has it in their house. You had 64, you had Melee and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My first tournament, I read about it on Smash Bros. I was like, oh, this would be fun to go. And so I went, and I did very, very well. I think I got 3rd my very first tournament. And I was like, okay, that was super fun, Maybe I'll come back. And then I was about to walk out the door, and this guy hands me $50, and I'm like, what's this for? He's like, oh, you get money. I'm like, oh, that's super nice. So obviously going to tournaments is fun, but the money's just kind of like an extra motivation to, keep going and, just want to be better and stuff. So that's kind of how I got into it. So Smashboards was kind of the starting, and then it just kind of kept going back.
Okay. And that's how you basically became a competitive player. Like Smash Brothers. Yeah. Smash Brothers is your favorite game, but money helps, and because you win it, you have fun, but at the same time, you learn from the experiences when you do lose and so forth.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, I just want to be a better player, so keep going. That helps that out. I just want to get better and better, and hopefully start to do well out of state.
That makes sense. So we're going to jump a little bit into the game here. What would you say is one of your favorite stages in Smash 4?
Well, for NES, I think everyone loves Smashville, but Smash was kind of broken for NES because you can just get 4 fairs and he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of his best stage and probably my favorite stage. I'm starting to really like Battlefield. You can do some cool platform combos and just continue them. And I like how you live a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
So those are probably my 2 favorite stages.
Would you say that those are your favorite out of the competitive stages or out of the entire game?
Out of the entire game, I don't really like the non-competitive stages.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's a lot of the stages have some weird things. So I like just the normal stages where if you're the better player, you're going to win.
Okay, so it just determines pure skill.
Exactly, yeah.
So, what's your thoughts? Okay, so we're gonna dive into a stage here. All right, let's say we're on Smashville. You're facing your opponent. What's your thoughts on using music during a game, like whether it's in-game music or headphones?
I'm kind of on the fence about this because I have done both, and I think it's just kind of personal preference. I actually prefer the game music just so I can hear, my character, their character, what's going on in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But if people want to use headphones, like I'm all for that. I get that music. I mean, music is a big motivator in all types of things, and working out and Smash Brothers. So I think it's just kind of personal preference. If it helps you out, you should go ahead and do it.
Okay. So you said that you did listen to music in the past, and you sometimes do, but you prefer the in-game music. When in-game music can't be heard and you are listening to your own music, what kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to kind of weird music. It's kind of like very electronic pop stuff, very upbeat, with big drops and stuff. And I think that really kind of just motivates you to do better, and it just kind of makes your mind think faster. It's kind of a weird feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, kind of like the electronic, techno kind of stuff, just really fast-paced music.
Okay, I can definitely understand that. I do that every now and then as well. I'll do what you do, as I'll switch between listening to music and not listening to music. And when I do, it's got to be something lively, because if it's dull and just soft, my gameplay gets crappy.
Yeah, it really just depends on my mood. Like sometimes I'm in a mood to listen to music, and sometimes I'm not. So it just depends on the day.
Makes sense. So what's your thoughts on coaching, like during a set? So after a match is over, having somebody come over and tell you what your opponent's doing. What's your thoughts on that?
What you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Again, with this one, I think it's like personal preference. Personally, I don't really like it because I'm a very independent person. So if someone's telling me, I'm very stubborn, so I won't like it. I'll be like, no, just go away. I want to figure it out on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just how I am. So I'd rather figure it out on my own because I think that makes you, adjust by yourself and a better player. But at the same time, sometimes you just can't realize what you're doing wrong. So for other people, I think coaches are fine. I don't mind if my opponent has someone right by him. But myself personally, I don't really want someone there just because I want to figure it out on my own. But that's just my personality.
Okay, I can respect that for sure. So during a match, you got your preferences, you've got your music, you've got your favorite stage. What is it that you like? Let's say you lose a stock, right? You lose the first stock.
Mm-hmm.
What's your mentality during that time?
Yeah, when you lose the first stock, that's kind of the hardest part in the entire game. I feel like, especially when you're playing, can't be patient people.
Mm-hmm.
But immediately, I'm not going to overextend, but I want to take the stock as quickly as possible. So I kind of go a little bit aggressive, a lot bit aggressive actually. But I just try to take that stock as quickly as possible because if the time starts winding down and they get that percent lead, that's when the match starts to really go towards their favor. So I just try to get that stock as quickly as possible.
Okay, and what would you say is one of your biggest problems in a match? Do you lose your cool very often, or are you pretty collected when you fight?
I try to be collected. I'm collected when I'm confident, but when I'm playing people I've never played before, it's kind of hard. I need to work on being able to adjust, and also being able to be more patient.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people that I've played around, top level players, they're just very, very patient.
And so they're just in and out of the fight, and so it makes it difficult for you when you're trying to attack, but they just wait you out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just what I got to get better on. I just be like, okay, they're going to be patient. I'm going to be patient as well. I'm going to be more patient, and that way I'll be able to, still win the match. Because that's a big part of the game is being patient.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. So, what would you say has been one of your hardest fights throughout your career?
Well, when Bayonetta was really strong, that was always hard because there was someone in our scene who played him, so that was always really, really tough. But I kind of knew she was going to get patched, so I didn't really mind that. And this past weekend, I recently played Foe, and that was very mentally tough. I think I did fairly well, but it was just very mentally tough, and that would probably be the top of the list just because so much was going on in the game where you had to think about every single thing. So that was probably my toughest match I've ever had.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
What would you say has been a notable win for you? What was something that you were just really proud of?
Well, a couple months back, I had this doubles partner. His name was Frozen, and we actually went to a regional in Arizona. And we were actually to win the whole doubles tournament. So that was really cool because there was a lot of notable players there. There was, SS and S2H and, really good players. And we were able to take that doubles tournament. I was really happy about that. I also beat SS in a money match, so that was pretty cool. Those are probably the top of my list of best players I've ever beaten.
Okay. What would you say during a match? What is one of your biggest weaknesses?
My biggest weakness is just game knowledge altogether. I think everyone can improve on that, and just matchup knowledge and all that stuff. Like if I'm playing a character I don't know that much, it's really, really tough, especially when they know my character so well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I just need to learn the game a little bit more, learn every single one of the characters, and learn every single matchup. And I think that's a lot of people's weaknesses, just because there's so many characters.
Right.
So I think once I overcome that, I'll be able to become a better player and take some matches that I've been losing recently.
That makes sense. So we've talked about a weakness of yours. What would you say is your greatest strength in fighting in tournaments?
So I think one of my greatest strengths in tournament and just kind of the game in general is just spacing. I practice a lot of spacing with all of my characters, and just making sure that I'm the right distance away from them for my move to hit and for their move to miss. And I think that's probably, top three of the most important things in the entire game is spacing. So that's something that I focus on a lot and probably my biggest strength.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. And this actually brings into another question of mine. What is one of the most important things you think new players who want to get into Smash Brothers should be doing? What should they learn the most first?
I think it's kind of underrated in this game, but just movement and just making sure your character is doing what you want it to do, and just kind of game knowledge. So probably the three biggest things is movement, spacing, and game knowledge. So, ways to learn that is just practice spacing, practice against people that are better than you, ask them questions and stuff like that. Watch a lot of top players, see what they're doing. And then just movement, like being able to move your character across the screen is super important. Making sure you have all your pivots right, all your dashes right, all your short hops right. And I think when I play a lot of brand new players, they just don't quite grasp them. So I think if they practice those three things, they'll start to improve dramatically.
Okay. So what would you say is your main goal in your Smash 4 career? What is it that you want to accomplish?
So I think my main accomplish is just to be able to get the best that I can be, and hopefully that goal, getting that far, is getting top 8 at a major, because I think that'd be super, super cool to do, a super good experience. I'm probably a little bit a ways from it. I need to go to more majors, get more experience, and just get better at the game. But that's probably my biggest goal that I would love to accomplish.
Okay. And are you going to EVO?
Yes, kind of going try hard in training right now. I'm super excited for it. Last one I went to Genesis, which was a good experience, so I'm really excited to go to another one. Very
nice. So before we go, aside from your topic on movement, what is it that you would give, what advice would you give to newer players who want to get into the scene, sure, they need to work on their movement and their basic fundamentals, but what advice would you have for them if they're, they're nervous or they don't feel like they can actually accomplish what they want to with their characters? What advice do you have for them?
I mean, it's kind of harder said than done, and it's something that I have problems with as well. But just try to keep, try not to get frustrated with the game. Remember that it's just a game and try to have fun. If you're having fun, I've had this happen in my experience. When I'm having fun, I play a lot better. So just kind of let loose and have fun. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. And if you're not doing as well as you want, just ask around. You got to keep practicing. And like I said, you can't get frustrated.
Cool. Or with that being said, first, thank you very much for the advice to newer players. I'm sure that we'd all anyone can actually benefit from that advice because it's very wise. So thank you very much for sharing that. Before we end the interview, is there any shout outs that you'd like to give to anyone?
Yeah, man. Shout outs to the best Mario I know. His name's Tyler Vaudry. He's down in North Carolina right now. His gamer tag is Frozen. He's super, super good. So he's been gone the whole summer. And so I'm super excited to get him back and start training again with him. And he's probably the reason. He's the reason I went to my first tournament. And he's the reason I was able to get so good because we were training partners. And yeah, man, he's super important to how good I've got at the game. Well, thank you so much for doing it. I think it's really cool what you're doing, and I hope it blows up for you.
Hey, no problem. And it's thanks to you Smash players that I'm able to even do this in the first place. And I mean, I am a Smash player, but I'm just glad that you guys give me this opportunity to do so. So, in any case, thank you so much, Spencer, for being on the episode today. We're all rooting for you, and we're wishing you the best of luck at EVO.
All right. Well, thank you so much, man. It was great talking to you.
Hey, no problem. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
All right. You too.
Bye. Hey guys, Skyner here again. Just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. And if you guys like it, don't forget to check out my other videos that I have posted. And if you guys do like these videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, and have a great one.